Ooh. Brought you by the newest Faro's Lounge Kickstarter. We've got it all here. Amazon, Fighters and Princesses, the Steel Bikini Spectacular 3, Chun-Li cover, two different Guiles, classic Guile, Cody Rhodes Guile. We got it all. But we also have here today, ladies and gentlemen, Draftkings. Finally, I had a thought. We've been doing all the best ball tournaments. I've done way too many best ball tournaments way too early. I'm probably fucked on Justin Jefferson. But DraftKings just put this up today, and as an NFL fantasy football junkie, let's make the first round of lineups. They're letting you do 150 lineups, $5 a pop. You can put in $750 and take 150 shots at $1 million. But of course, you're up against 832,000 other motherfuckers. Which is never fun. Which means we gotta plot it out. We gotta do this right. We gotta be smart. We gotta be cunning. We gotta be clever. So what I thought I would do is, I'm not gonna do all 150 lineups at once. I thought maybe we do 25 lineups. You do this 6 times, that's 150. As a matter of fact, I only have 24 windows open here. So I wonder if we could open another window. We cannot open another window. Let me just get another window open right here. Every quarterback. Essentially one lineup which is dominated by one team. What happened is, one by one, he had basically 6 out of 10 players. It was, or 7 out of 10 players in his lineup. It was 6 and 9. No, yeah, 6 and 9. 6 out of 9 fucking players were from one game. He had like fucking 5 Seahawks and like 2 Texans, and the game ended up being like a 50 to fucking 40 game, $1 million, and he won second place too. Fucking bastard. It happens. It happens. This is fantasy football. It's why we play. I don't do that whole let's play smart and play for money and play for a living. No, I play for the $1 million fucking dollars. Why? Because it's for fantasy fucking football. If you ain't chasing a fucking million, you're a boring bastard. 25 windows open here. Again, you do it 6 times, it's 150 lineups. Let's try to see a model. I normally like the showdown games. I like the fucking showdown games, to be honest with you. Because you're playing everything within one game. They don't have the showdown game up yet. I got a feeling it's coming soon, because next week starts the preseason. And if they're putting the classic lineups up, you know showdown is coming next. And that's where I love the showdown. But we got this open tonight. I'm itching to make some bloody lineups. Now, we can go in order of teams like this, or we can go in order of quarterback. So again, if you had no salary cap, if you had a cheat code, and you didn't have to worry about the salary cap, this would probably be in terms of the money. The best line would be Jaden Daniels, a quarterback, Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs, a running back, Jamar Chase, Puka Nacua, Nico Collins at receiver, Brock Bowers at tight end, Christian McCaffrey is your fucking your flex, and the Broncos D. And of course, that would give you a deficit of $13,400. So we got to figure out how to get that money off the budget while still trying to keep the best team on paper. We got to read some scouting reports. We're going to plot it out. I don't like to read any of those bullshit fucking articles. I feel like they're generated by AI at this point. Just pick 10 random players and say, 10 players to watch in 2025. I fucking hate that shit. I read the DraftKings reports. That's what I like. This would be the best team on paper, according to the money. We know it never really works out like that. We're going to go by quarterback. Every quarterback will head up one of our teams. Where we go from there is anyone's guess. But the best team on paper, we'll go quarterback by quarterback. There are going to be 12 games in the Sunday slate, which means we will have 24 quarterbacks to pick from. We're going to take a chance at $1 million by saying no matter what, we're guaranteed that we're going to have the fucking game-winning quarterback. So the hard part's going to see picking the supporting cast. There's not much recon right now. We're going to do it the best what we got. Then we'll come back next week, and we'll make another 25 lineups. C.J. Stroud. Matthew Stafford. Tua Tagovailoa. Bryce Young. Come on, the fucking loading. Ugh. Hate when your computer double clicks. Price Young. Michael Penix Jr. We gotta do this now every fucking time. You know when you gotta replace your laptop and you just burn the fucking thing into the ground? You burned it out. Now, you don't have to always do 25 lineups and pick every fucking quarterback. You might find some of these quarterbacks you read about are dog shit. We're just doing this first slate and we're guaranteeing every quarterback. As you do more slates, you'll probably do less quarterbacks. Or you just throw $60 in the $20 max, which we'll probably end up doing too. I love playing for the money. Drake fucking May. Who will be the best quarterback? Who will be the money maker? I don't like to use the computer programs. I like to pick my own lineups. Will Justin Fields be there week 1? But no, until we get there, now will we? Oh, God. We just get those. Just get those all going. We do some shit. Go back over there. If Justin Fields. This is tonight's radio show if you're a junkie like Mr. K. Ugh, why is it doing this? Sam Donald. You love when you do a live fucking podcast and fuck computer's not working with you. As I said, I never shut these things off. I just burn these fucking things out. Trevor Lawrence. I didn't. Who picked Aaron fucking Rodgers? I could have sworn I picked Trevor fucking Lawrence. He's just jumping around. Now we pick Aaron Rodgers. Well, the computer takes its sweet ass time load 25 guys. Aaron Rodgers. After this week, Geno Smith. Now it gets a little tricky on the next one because you got a quarterback battle in Indianapolis between Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson Sr. With Richardson, I guess they're saying with them both being the same money, they're putting Richardson over in terms of points. So as of right now, we shall put Mr. Richardson in the starting role. We're going to skip Daniel Jones and go right to Russell Wilson. Because apparently he's going to be started week 1 in New York. Then we got Cam Ward, which obviously with the Mr. Joe Flacco. Apparently, right now, it's as far as anybody's concerned, Joe Flacco is going to be the starter over there in Cleveland. And 1 quarterback to go. Who the fuck is lower than Joe Flacco? Oh, would it be New Orleans? Yeah, Tyler Shook. Again, we don't know who the fuck's starting in New Orleans. Rattler, Shook. I guess we'll put in Rattler for now. I can't see myself running too many fucking lineups with him. And again, we'll save the last one, the 25th lineup, for like the all-star team, for who we absolutely want to have on every fucking lineup here. So there we go. There is our deficit. $13,400. Can it be done? Well, of course, right off the bat, try to get some money back on the defense. Well, that's not going to like that's not going to work. Let's go by team. First things first. And every team to maximize right off the bat, since it's week 1, we know nothing about these fucking defenses. The Broncos, Giants here, Washington. I mean, it's Jaden Daniels, Browns. Browns versus the Bengals. Oof, oof, oof. Panthers, though, versus the fucking Jaguars. Right off the bat, just take the cheapest defense and then work from there. So we got Jaden Daniels, the Washington Panthers. Ooh, I don't here. Daniels isn't worried about Terry McLaurin's contract holdout impacting the duo's rapport. McLaurin is frustrated with negotiations, but ultimately still wants an extension in Washington rather than a trade. Daniels, meanwhile, seems to be getting along fine in practice without his top wide receiver. His first pass of 11 on 11s at training camp was a deep completion to new weapon, Deebo Samuel. The Commanders also traded for Laramie Tuttle this offseason and then drafted Josh Connolly in the first round. but their interior line figures to be temporarily weakened after standout guard Sam Cosmi suffered an ACL tear during the playoffs. It's still a good situation for Daniels overall, especially if and when McLaurin gets back on the field. So right now, this is about Terry McLaurin not being there. However, they mentioned Deebo Samuel. And so for a little bit of fun, we're going to handcuff in this lineup, this $1 million lineup, we hope. We're going to handcuff Jaden Daniels to Deebo Samuel. Especially because he's playing the fucking Giants. All right? So right off the bat, Jaden Daniels. Now what do we got here in the running game? Nothing with nothing. All these young boys here. We heard nothing through training camps. There's really no recon on these guys yet. You get the occasional article on one of these guys. Might be a big prospect. What do we got here? Jeremy McNichols. Anything. Any kind of recon on Mr. McNichols. Christian Rodriguez. You know, one of these guys could be the ultimate sleeper. Now, again, we might get more recon on him as the fucking preseason gets underway. We're looking for something. We're looking for some nuggets of wisdom. Anything that catches our eye. Any interesting writing that says, maybe this is the fucking guy we need. We're not finding it here. However, we did get a mention for one, Deebo Samuel. No new news on Deebo, however. When mentioned in connection with Jaden Daniels, we want the handcuffs, especially because right now it looks like Terry McLaurin ain't fucking playing. So again, you got to be patient right now. Click those fucking cards. We're looking for a sleeper. We're looking for somebody to do some shit. Early reports. Anything that just doesn't sound like generic bullshit that makes this player special, that talks to us. This guy is the key to $1 million fucking dollars. Yeah, maybe we're just looking for the little dot to show us some new news. We're seeing how it worked out. K. Martin and the Commanders agreed to terms on a contract Wednesday. After suiting up one game last year at Tennessee, Martin was waived an undisclosed injury settlement, but will now get a chance to prove himself on the Commanders. The 27-year-old caught his first career pass last season for a 49-yard touchdown. He'll face an uphill battle climb to make the 53-man roster, given Washington already has a relatively set wide receiver core. Now again, you read something like that, maybe you try to catch something, uphill climb. His first career pass for a 49-yard touchdown. If the guy came in for one fucking play, that could be a game breaker. But again, not enough to really make us scream. So what do we got? Noah Brown. Avoided the PUP list for the start of training camp, but may not be a full participant early on. Brown was carted off the field June 11th at a minicamp practice, but he was scheduled for an MRI, but the Commanders went on summer break right after that and never provided any update on the nature or extent of Brown's injury. It sounds like he's on track for week 1, with time to make his case this summer for the number 3 wide receiver role behind Terry McLaurin, who's holding out, and Deebo Samuel. Once again, another mention of Deebo. Now, again, we don't have to click every single guy. We just want to see if there's any old information. But if there's no new news, then they erase it. So if there's no dot or little box here, there's probably nothing to fucking read about these motherfuckers. But just to be sure, we're going to try. Before we decide we're not going to do this every fucking team. Yeah, so there's no little box. Ain't nothing to read. Terry McLaurin. What we got? On the reserve did not report list. McLaurin declined to report Tuesday for the start of training camp, 1 week after saying it would be kind of hard to see how I could step on the field without progress on a new contract. He's in the final season of a 3-year, $68 million extension, after scoring 13 touchdowns in the regular season and 3 more in the playoffs. McLaurin will accrue $50,000 in non-rescindable fines for every day of training camp he misses during the contract dispute. Ugh, fucking annoying. It's fucking players sometimes. All right, what do we got? Nothing. Zach Ertz. Anything on Mr. Zach Ertz? We got no news. No good news. Defense. Again, we'll keep the Titans for now. And that is it from the Commanders. You know, I don't think we'll do a 25th lineup. We'll see. Maybe. Let's go. Joseph Burrow. bad, crazy Joe Burrow. Zach Taylor noted Wednesday that he anticipates playing Burrow more in preseason games. Then we have a half as the Bengals prepare for the 2025 regular season. With that in mind, Burrow's next chance to see a game action will occur August 7th, when the Bengals face the Eagles in the first round of their 3 scheduled exhibition contests. On the heels of a 2024 campaign which he logged 4,918 passing yards and 43 touchdowns and 17 regular season tilts, Burrow should benefit from the fast-catching mainstays Ja'Marr Chase, T. Higgins, and Mike Gesicki, all inked multi-year extensions with Cincinnati this offseason. This could be one of those where it's playing fucking Cleveland. Now, again, divisional games in Cleveland may not be the blowout everybody's expecting. Why the fuck not? I mean, take all 3 of those weapons. Go for broke for $5 fucking. Go for the blowout score. Did we click this off yet? Click it off. You don't need that anymore. Let's go team by team. So what we got? Where's Cincinnati? All right, we got running backs to talk about. What we got? Taj Brooks. Taj fucking Brooks. What do we got? Making a strong impression with his pass catching skills and practices. Head coach Zachary Taylor and Dan Pitcher both praised Brooks for his pass catching ability during the offseason program. It now seems to be carrying over to training camp, where Brooks caught 3 passes in the first set of full team drills Friday. The rookie 6th round pick is expected to compete with Zach Moss and Samaje Perine for the 2nd and 3rd spots on the depth chart behind returning starter Chase Brown. The praise for Brooks' pass catching is perhaps unexpected, as he had just 548 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns in 5 seasons at Texas Tech, compared to 4,557 yards and 45 scores on the ground. The Bengals curiously list him at 5'10", 230 pounds, which is 16 pounds above his weight in the 2025 Combine. Interesting. Perine, Zach Moss is out. What do we got on Zach Moss? Able to take the field during the OTAs, but the running back is bouncing back from a season-ending neck injury. Once he's ready to resume practice, Moss can be activated on the NFL list, but now Samaje Perine, Taj Brooks, Gary Brightwell, Kendall Milton, and Quail Conley are available to compete for slotting behind top back Chase Brown. Interesting. Chase Brown keeps getting mentioned. What do we got, Chase Brown? Dan Pitcher said Wednesday he expects Brown to be a household name by the end of the season. Pitcher even compared Brown to Austin Ekeler, highlighting Brown's receiving skills and versatility. After not playing much as a rookie, the 2023 5th-round pick became one of the highest volume backs in the league by the second half of the season, logging at least 50 snaps and 15 touches in each of his last 8 games. He averaged 18.9 carries for 78 yards and 4.8 catches for 37 yards over that 8-game stretch, with 3 rushing touchdowns and 3 receiving scores. The Bengals probably want to reduce Brown's workload at least a little bit, but that partially depends on how things come along with their backups, namely Zach Moss, Samaje Perine, and rookie Taj Brooks. A household name. Goddamn. A household name. Interesting. We have no mentions on any of the receivers here. What do we got? Anything on Chase Brown? On Ja'Marr Chase? Top fucking receiver, Ja'Marr Chase? No news on Ja'Marr Chase. All right. What about the tight ends? Eric Ali Jr. Expected to miss the entire 2025 season. You suck. Present at training camp, Amelia is an observer with a large bracer on his right knee. He tore the ACL in his right knee both of the last 2 seasons, limiting him to 7 games in his final collegiate campaign and 9 appearances as an NFL rookie. The 2024 4th-round pick apparently will take his rehab slower this time, focusing on 2026 and beyond. You suck. You idiot dick. All right, who do we like here? I want the household name. I want Chase fucking Brown. And Taj Brooks is looking somewhat interesting, too, as a possible sleeper. Again, we can replace it. But as of now, that's interesting. Interesting to me. Moving on. Baker Mayfield. And the Tampa Bay. Where are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers hiding? Tampa Bay. Baker, Candlestick. What you got, Baker? All-Pro left tackle Tristan Wirfs likely will begin the season on the PUP list after undergoing knee surgery Tuesday. This means that Wirfs would miss at least the first 4 games of the season. Those games include a big division game at Atlanta on the road week 1, a tough road game at Houston in week 2, and a week 4 matchup against the Eagles. With Mayfield already being a red discretion candidate following a career year and the departure of offensive coordinator Liam Cohn, this news is a significant setback as well. Shit. Anything on Bucky? Anything? No good news on fucking Bucky. Come on. Anything, people. Come on. What we got? We got some receivers to talk about. Wasn't a great report there on good old fucking Baker. Emeka Egbuka told the New Heights podcast Egbuka is the real deal and can plug and play at any of the 3 receiver spots right now. Mayfield was effusive in his praise, also saying Egbuka has yak potential out the wazoo as an absolute stud. It's a good sign for the rookie first-round pick's early involvement on the Tampa Bay offense, although there was a lot that could happen this summer to impact his playing time, including Chris Godwin rejoining the mix of Jalen McMillan, building on his strong work from the end of last season. Draft this guy. We like the rooks. What do we got on McMillan? Not a goddamn thing. Chris Godwin. Todd Bowles said Wednesday that Godwin is on track but doesn't have a specific timeline to return to practice. Godwin is coming back from an ankle dislocation suffered in Week 7 last season and hasn't resumed practicing. He's on the PUP list for the start of training camp, with Bowles' comments suggesting a return isn't imminent. The Bucs were confident enough in Godwin's recovery to give him a $44 million guaranteed on a 3-year, $66 million contract in March, but the rehab process does seem to be coming along more slowly than many expected. That sucks. But that also elevates Egbuka here. Anything on Mike Evans? Good old Mikey? Mikey? Nothing. Not a goddamn thing. Oh, again, I forget to put the defenses in it. It's cheap. Cheap as D. Always do that first. My thing is, I always try to go with the cheapest D. Well, first do the anything on the tight end here. Wait, so we only did what? Daniels and Burrow. Okay, good. So nothing on the tight ends. All right. We shall return. And that's what we got for the Buccaneers. First things first, always get to the defense. Titans. Jared Goff. What do we got? What do we got on Jared Goff? Entering his 5th season in Detroit. Operating as the team's starting quarterback ahead of Hendon Hooker and Kyle Allen. Goff compiled a career-high 4,600 passing yards and 37 touchdowns while completing 72% of his pass attempts over 17 regular games in 2024. The 30-year-old has been the picture of consistency, appearing in all 51 of the Lions' regular season contests over the last 3 years. With offensive coordinator Ben Johnson leaving the offseason to become the head coach of the Bears, Goff will work with new offensive coordinator John Morton, who was a senior offensive assistant in Detroit in 2022, before spending 2 years with the Broncos as the team's passing game coordinator. Morton is considered to be a maestro with wide receivers, and Detroit added a 3rd-rounder Isaac Tesla to the fold in the 2025 draft. He'll join an already talented wide receiver room that includes Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Tim Patrick, and Khalif Raymond. The wide receivers paired with impressive running backs Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, as well as tight end Sam Laporta, will provide Goff with a wider array of options to once again have a productive campaign in the Motor City. Well, God damn. They're telling you Goff's got the fucking weapons. Saying that Jared Goff is the guy to fucking watch here. Detroit. What do we got? Who's this? Jabari Small. Signed with the Lions Friday. Small spent the 2024 season with the Titans practice squad after joining the team as an undrafted free agent. He'll battle for a roster spot during training camp but will likely face a tough path with the likes of Craig Reynolds and Sion Vaki already serving as depth for Detroit. Well, then fuck off. Sion Vaki left practice due to a leg injury. The exact nature and severity of the injury have yet to be determined. Vaki is competing for a depth role in Detroit's backfield after notching only 51 total yards on offense in his rookie season. The 2024 fourth-round draft pick can also play safety and is expected to contribute on special teams. Fuck him. Montgomery, what do we got? Come on, give me some good news here. Recently said he has no concern about Detroit's offensive line changes and is confident in new offensive coordinator John Morton. The Lions lost center Frank Ragnow to retirement and right guard Kevin Zeitler to the Titans, leaving a training camp competition between rookie second-round pick Tate Ratledge, 2024 sixth-rounder Christian Mahogany, and 27-year-old Tristan Colin, among others, for the two open spots. Morton, who was Detroit's passing game coordinator the last 2 years under former OC Ben Johnson, still has an elite tackle duo and one of the best groups of skill position players in the league at his disposal. There's always some chance the new play caller gives Jahmyr Gibbs a few more snaps and touches at Montgomery's expense, but wholesale changes are unlikely after the Lions scored a league-high 33 points per game last season. You got to take Montgomery here, but do you also take Gibbs? Gibbs said last week that new Lions offensive coordinator John Morton has him splitting out wide way more than I was the past 2 years. Gibbs took 39 perimeter snaps during the regular season last year, 8th among most NFL running backs, but 16 slot snap rate just 22nd. He finished the year on the high tote in terms of receiving involvement, with a career-high 11 targets in January's playoff loss to Washington, after catching at least 4 passes in each of the final 5 regular season games. His receiving involvement spiked during David Montgomery's MCL injury, with Gibbs surprisingly having averaged just 2.3 catches on 3 targets per game in weeks 1 through 13. There's a chance his pass-catching production becomes more consistent under a new play caller, and also some chance Gibbs takes more of the workload away from Montgomery in general, but with the risk that Detroit's offense won't be as efficient in general after losing former offensive coordinator Ben Johnson to the Bears this offseason. The Lions also lost starting right guard Kevin Zeitler to the Titans and center Frank Ragnow to retirement, but they're bringing back all of their 2024 starters on offense, including the elite tackle duo of Penei Sewell and Taylor Decker. How do you not take him? How do you not take Jahmyr fucking Gibbs? Jesus Christ, Georgie. All these receivers. He's got nothing. Amon-Ra St. Brown participated in Sunday's training camp practice. St. Brown underwent an off-season knee procedure just to clean some stuff up. In the words of the wideout, in the time Woodyard indicated that St. Brown was expected to be ready for training camp. And that is indeed the case, with no reports of the 25-year-old being limited at practice. St. Brown is thus to reprise his high-volume role in Detroit's offense, having racked up 115 catches for 1,200 yards and 12 touchdowns in 17 regular season contests in 2024. Get his ass in there. Right there. 4 fucking lines right there. Bang. You got anything on Jameson Williams that we want to read? Anything interesting? No news. What about you, Mr. Laporte? Anything? Nothing. All right, boys, moving on. Our next team, the Arizona Cardinals. As always, again, keep us deep. Arizona. Take it on New Orleans. That could be interesting. That could be fucking interesting. They could light the fuck out of New Orleans, Arizona. Kyler Murray would be like the ultimate fucking sleeper. What do we got? Anything on James Conner? No good news, but we got something here on Trey Benson. Believes Benson is going to take a step in his second season as a pro. There's no question about James Conner's standing as the top option out of the Cardinals' backfield, as the 8-year veteran is coming off a career-best 1,500 yards from scrimmage during the 2024 season. The team invested a third-round pick in Benson 2 springs ago, but he managed only 69 touches for 350 total yards and 1 rushing touchdown in 13 regular season games as a rookie. He wasn't known for his receiving ability in college, so Benson may need an injury to Conner to make a significant impact in the upcoming campaign. Going to take a step. For $5, that's worth a sleeper. Maybe he takes a little fucking cleanup and Connor, because Connor, I remember Connor getting injured a few fucking times, so take a step up there. We got nothing here, but we got recons to Marvin Harris. Reported to training camp at 220 pounds. Harrison entered the NFL at 209 pounds, but spent the offseason bulking up and focusing on his diet. The number 4 overall pick in the 2024 draft, Harrison had a fine rookie season, posting a 62, 885, 8 receiving line on 116 targets, but his efficiency clearly was lacking some. He caught just 54% of his targets, ranking 102nd out of 112 qualifying wide receivers in catch percentage. His average depth of target was 14 yards, was 14th highest, which helps explain some of that lack of efficiency. The Cardinals hope to do a better job of getting Harrison easier catches at all levels of the field in 2025. That's good enough for this team. Trey McBride. Got anything on Trey McBride? We love Trey McBride. Nothing on Trey McBride. Motherfucker. Moving on. Love making lines. Onyx. Well, we can't take the Titans here. So we'll take the next cheapest team. The Giants. What the hell? All right. Those bloody Broncos. Which I'm assuming is a 4 o'clock game. Yes, it is. All right. Bo Nix. What we got? Bo, anything on any recon? Nothing on Bo. Nothing on Bo. Nothing on these guys. What do we got? Any recon? Cortland? Anything on Cortland's side? Nothing on Cortland's side. So if all we have is what, A.T. fucking Perry here? What do we got? Displaced on the PUP list by the Broncos on Sunday. Perry will open Denver's training camp on the sidelines with an undisclosed injury. Who gives a shit? All right, we got no recon on the Broncos here. Anything. Tight end? Anything. Oh, here we go. For Boney. What do you got, kid? Participate in Denver's practice Wednesday. For Boney underway back surgery. Oh, fuck you. Engram, anything. Anything. Any recon. Nothing. So we just got fucking Bo Nix here. Just naked Bo Nix. Moving on. Brock fucking Lesnar. Brock Lesnar. All right, what do we got? If you're going to San Francisco. What do we got, Brock? Anything on Brock? Any recon? Recon, Brock. Not a fucking thing. All right. McCaffrey, though, what do we got? Give me some good news here. Give me some good news on this fucking piece of shit. The 90 commercials last year. Played 3 games. Coach Shanahan said Tuesday McCaffrey is here and healthy for the start of the Niners training camp, but the running back's workload will be managed in advance of the regular season. After a 2024 season in which he missed 13 games due to an Achilles tendonitis in both legs and a PCL sprain in his right knee, McCaffrey didn't have any restrictions. During the offseason program, it appears to be back to his normal self as camp kicks off. Fullback Kyle Juszczyk spoke highly of the 29-year-old McCaffrey 2 weekends ago at the American Century Championship in Lake Tahoe, saying Christian is arguably the best player in the NFL. He was the Offensive Player of the Year 2 years ago. He looks so healthy. He looks so explosive. McCaffrey mustered just 348 yards from scrimmage and no touchdowns on 65 touches in 4 appearances last season. But in the aforementioned award-winning 2023 campaign, he put up 2,000 total yards and 21 touchdowns in 16 regular season games. I'll draft him here. Oh, we got plenty of recon in the receiving corps and just a lot of red tape. Look at all that fucking red. Ugh. Ugh. What do we got? Quentin Stevens signed a 1-year contract Thursday. With Jacob Cowing sidelined due to a hamstring injury, the Niners bolstered their wide receiver core by adding Cephas and waiving running back Israel Abikananda, whatever the fuck. Cephas spent most of the 2024 season on the Rams practice squad, but he was let go in late June despite signing a reserve futures contract in January. Cephas hasn't played a regular season game since 2022 as a member of the Lions. and he faces an uphill battle to make the Niners practice squad, let alone the 53-man roster, at the end of training camp. Well, you never know. Equanimous St. Brown signed on Tuesday. Brown appeared in 2 regular season games with the Saints last season, but wasn't targeted on 35 snaps. He hasn't seen any meaningful action since 2022 with the Bears. St. Brown will try to win one of the last spots on the roster this summer. So this guy's out, huh? Cowing is out. What a fucking bust this guy is. Pulled his hamstring on Wednesday. He was the subject of glowing reports during the offseason program, only to get injured during the first practice of training camp. A 2024 fourth-round pick, Cowing just got 5 touches on 106 offensive snaps last season, with his main role being on punt returns. This could have been a good chance to get some reps with Brock Purdy, as the Niners don't have Brandon Ayuk and Ricky Pearsall available for the start of camp. You stink! Marcus Robinson, Pearsall, what do you got? Considered healthy, and just needs to build endurance before getting clearance for training camp. There may be nonetheless be some concern about the off-season hamstring injury lingering until Pearsall makes it through a few practices without any setbacks. Prior reports suggest that he'll likely be ready for practice this weekend, at which point he can continue making his case for steady snaps and targets in 2025. Brandon Ayuk is also on the pup list but may remain there much longer than Pearsall, while DeMarcus Robinson is practicing but could be suspended before week 1. That leaves Pearsall and Juwan Jennings as the safest bets for early snaps in the preseason. Though Pearsall's hamstring and Jennings' contract-related frustration have raised some questions there as well. Jennings is practicing, however, with Pearsall apparently set to join him soon enough. I don't know, that doesn't excite me. And this asshole, everybody's holding out. Participated in individual drills at the start of Wednesday's practice. Juwan Jennings, unlike his position mate, Brandon Ayuk, isn't holding in, despite reports that he is seeking a new contract, with Ayuk out for the foreseeable future due to his recovery from a torn ACL and Deebo Samuel getting traded to the Commanders this offseason. Jennings is set to open the upcoming season as the Niners' top option at wide receiver, but he currently is playing out of the second season of the 2-year, $15 million contract he signed in May 2024. Jennings is coming off a 77-975, 6 campaign on 113 targets across 15 regular season contests, so an amended deal could be in his future. All right. But you notice there's another mention of Deebo Samuel. When a name just keeps coming up, you got to embrace that curiosity. Anything on Mr. George Kittle? Kittle? Nothing. You cunt. Moving on. Jordan Love. As always, first things first. Titans D. Where are the Packers? The brothers love the Packers. All right, Love, what do you got? Come and get Jordan Love. All right, nothing. Anything, Josh Jacobs? Anybody? Here we go. Remains the unquestioned number 1 running back entering the 2025 season, but his primary backup is to be determined. Green Bay seemingly used a 3rd-round pick in the 2024 draft on Marshawn Lloyd to solidify its reserve running back ranks behind Jacobs, but Lloyd managed just 1 appearance and 7 touches as a rookie due to a variety of health concerns. With Lloyd sidelined for most of last season, Emmanuel Wilson and Chris Brooks combined for 161 touches, which was a far cry from Jacobs' 337. Jacobs boasts 4 campaigns of 1,000-plus rushing yards in his 6-year career, and considering the workload he handled in 2024, he's set to take on a similar burden this year. Still, if Lloyd proves his health and sheds his fumble-prone label from college, he could swap places with Wilson as the number 2 option in the Packers' backfield. It seems more about Marshawn Lloyd than it does Josh Jacobs, but shit, we like Josh Jacobs. He's a fucking workhorse. What they got on this prick? Not a fucking thing. Fuck your mother. Who's this guy? Amar Johnson. Placed on the active non-football list. Joined the Packers as an undrafted free agent after a very productive collegiate career with South Dakota State as both a running back and kick returner. However, he's facing an uphill battle to make the roster out of training camp, and starting out on the sideline won't help his cause. Yeah, you suck. All right, we got some recon. Of course, everybody's always injured. Everybody's fucking injured. The fuck? Bo, we need a sleeper. General Manager Brian Goodis told reporters Wednesday that Melton will mostly play at corner during training camp in the preseason. Melton received reps at corner during minicamp in June. It appears the 2022 seventh rounder will officially make the switch to defense, though he'll likely operate as a depth piece in the secondary behind Cassine Nixon, Carrington Valentine, and Nate Hobbs. Melton appeared in all 17 regular season games for the Packers and posted 8 catches on 17 targets for 91 yards, while adding 8 carries for 54 yards. He ran some tricks. Savion Williams not practicing Friday due to a concussion. Williams was reportedly having a nice start to training camp, but figures to miss some time with the head injury. Green Bay uses a third-round pick, 87th overall, on Williams in the 2025 draft, but that's not a clear path to meaningful playing time as a rookie, even with Christian Watson rehabbing a torn ACL suffered in Week 18. The Packers still have a loaded wideout room that features Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks, and first-round rookie Matthew Golden. Christian Watson. Watson is a freak and pressing to get out there, but still won't be rushed into practices this summer. Watson suffered his ACL tear in Week 18 last season. Give him exactly 9 months between the date of the injury and Week 1 of the 2025. He's starting training camp on the PUP list, with comments Wednesday suggesting Watson may remain out of practice for a while. Week 1 may still be a big ask, but at least sounds like Watson is on schedule in his rehab process, with a chance to contribute in the first half of the season. Packers open training camp with Jaden Reed, Matthew Golden, Romeo Doubs, and Dontavian Wicks as the top wide receivers. Anything on Doubs? Nothing. Matt Golden, Green Bay's first-round pick? Nothing. Jaden Reed? Nothing. Not a bloody thing. What we got? Oh, Tucker Kraft. What do we got? Tucker Kraft. Matt LaFleur said Wednesday the Packers absolutely believe they can get Kraft more involved in the downfield passing game this season. Among 45 qualified tight ends last season, Kraft's average depth of target was 42nd. He did most of his work on underneath looks or at the close of the line of scrimmage. As a result, Kraft led all tight ends in yards after catch per reception and was 14th in yards per route. The Packers have a ton of mouths to feed in the passing offense, so getting Kraft more involved down the field may be easier said than done. Kraft is selected as a borderline tight end when in early fantasy football drafts this summer. He's a beast. We got our target. Good job, Mr. Love. And they called me Dr. Love. Fuck. What kind of bullshit is this? CJ Stroud. Are you fucking kidding me with those resets? All right, where we at here? Houston versus the Rams. In the 4 o'clock hour. What do we got? Anything on CJ Stroud? Stroud made it a point during the offseason to rework his body after a sophomore season of aggression in 2024. He's been working really hard on getting his body right, losing body fat, trying to be faster, stronger, and it went well. Pocket mobility, running out of the pocket, throwing the rock. Everything kind of works hand in hand. Stroud looks to rebound from his second NFL season when he saw dips in passing yards and touchdowns, while throwing 7 more interceptions than his rookie season. It's a hopeful sign that Stroud is putting his work in the offseason, but there are other areas of offense that need to improve in 2025. Houston ranked 22nd in yards per game and 19th in points per game, while managing to win the AFC South for a second consecutive season. That drop cost offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick his job, as the Texans replaced him with Nick Caley, who was the pass game coordinator and tight ends coach of the Rams last year. In addition to what will be his new playbook, the offensive line needs to be better. Stroud was sacked 52 times during the regular season and taken down 11 more times during the playoffs. Holy shit. Did we just get a clue that we got to take the Rams' fucking defense? You read shit like that, and that's where you change things. That's how we play like detectives. We don't just go blind on defense. You take a clue like that just says he gets sacked like a motherfucker and the line needs to play better. that's when we have to invest some money in fucking D. Now, again, we may read something that says, no, this is a better idea. But I realize a lot of games can be won with the defense. Always read the reports to get some kooky ideas. Except, of course, in that Texans game where we'll take the Titans. See, I love when you read shit like that because, again, that's how you have to treat these reports. It's like a bit of a clue, a bit of an Easter egg, or a hidden meaning. They tell you that fucking CJ Stroud gets fucking sacked a lot and they had a regression. And the line needs to play better. We don't know what the fuck's going to happen with Denver. Especially when it's fucking Sean Payton can throw up 8 billion fucking points on a team with a rookie fucking quarterback. That's why the Broncos are the fucking most expensive defense. But again, Cam Ward can fucking surprise everybody because it's week 1 and nobody knows what the fuck's going on yet. Jadu. But I love when you pick up a little clue. It gives you a little motivation to pick on a cool card. Now, again, we may read some more shit. We still got other cards to read. Oh, no, keep the Titans here. Okay, I'm sorry. We can't take the Rams here, of course. So this is where we will take the Titans. What do we got? J.J. Taylor. Placed on the active PUP list Wednesday. Taylor was essentially a rotational practice squad back for Houston last year, playing in 5 regular season contests and totaling 33 offensive snaps. It's unclear what injury Taylor may be dealing with, but the Texans may just be cautious with their veterans as the team placed 13 players on either the non-football injury list or PUP list before the start of camp. The 27-year-old can return to the practice field at any point in the preseason should the team deem him ready, and he will likely need to do so quickly, as Taylor could be competing with newly drafted 4th-round pick Woody Marks for a roster spot. Oh, everybody's out. Everybody's out. Damian Pierce on the PUP list for the start of training camp. No hint of the injury trouble during the offseason with no report yet on what might be bothering Pierce. He's in the final year of his rookie contract and set to compete with Nick Chubb and Woody Marks for backup roles behind Joe Mixon, who is opening camp also on the fucking PUP. Fuck, man. Joe Mixon. Placed on the active non-football injury list, he suffered multiple ankle injuries last season, including one that cost him weeks 3 through 5. But the current issue is from something that happened during the individual off-season training, and thus the non-football injury designation. He missed spring practice, with reports at the time suggesting he'd be likely ready for training camp. Recent updates imply the Texans still aren't overly concerned and plan to ease Mixon into training camp, with his absence in the meantime potentially freeing up first-team reps for Nick Chubb, Damian Pierce, Woody Marks, and Dare Ogunbowale. Nick Chubb. Anything on Nick? No news on Nick. What we got here in the receiver core? Braxton fucking Berrios lands on his feet, doesn't he? Returned to practice Wednesday. Made his practice debut Wednesday and played with the 2nd and 3rd team quarterbacks. He reportedly had a good day, which he likely need to stack to make the roster. Braxton is a good special teams contributor, which could be another path to him sticking with the team. Fucking Dell. What a fucking letdown this guy was. No timetable for the return of Dell, who's on the active PUP list. While Cassera hasn't completely ruled out the possibility that Dell could return at some point this season, it's clear the wideout, who suffered a significant knee injury last December, still has a way to go in his recovery process. With that in mind, Casario noticed that Dell is building every day. He's working real hard, but he's not going to put a timetable on anything. A notion echoed by coach D'Amico Ryans, who added the 2023 third-rounder is crushing the rehab. With Dell likely to miss a good portion of the upcoming season, the Texans' top healthy veteran wide receivers are Nico Collins and Christian Kirk, with 2025 draftees Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel also in the mix to carve out steady roles in the team's passing attack. 4 new faces, huh? Nothing on Noel. Anything on Kirk? Nothing on Kirk. Higgins. Nothing on Higgins. Nico. No news for Nico. All right, what do we got? We got some tight end recon. What do we got? Brevin Jordan made his practice debut Wednesday. Tore his ACL week 2 of the 2024 season is progressively ramping up. He returned to the practice field to catch a pass from C.J. Stroud during Wednesday's practice and appears to be tracking towards a week 1 return. Remember, we need a sleeper. A nice, cheap sleeper to fit some good shit in. Could Brevin Jordan be our sleeper? Nick Casario told reporters Wednesday that Stover has stood out during the offseason and early portions of training camp. Stover saw limited playing time during his rookie campaign, finishing with 15 catches for 133 yards and 1 touchdown across 15 regular season games. He broke his collarbone during the Texans' wildcard win over the Chargers in January, but he has fully recovered from the injury and has made a good impression on Casario and the coaching staff. Stover enters training camp in competition against Brevin Jordan for backup tight end duties behind Dalton Schultz. Schultz sucks. This guy sucks. I'm almost thinking taking Brevin Jordan here. Caught a fucking touchdown from C.J. Stroud. Oh, caught a pass. Hey, you caught a fucking pass. Good for you. Very proud of you, kid. All right, moving on. Because we have to do these resets again. These fucking resets again. Motherfucker, you. Fuck, it's all. Who's after Stroud? Fucking aggravating the computer. Really fucking aggravating. It's Stafford next. All right, so we're definitely going to be taking the Rams D with Stafford. Do. Stafford. 4 o'clock game. Let's do this shit. Matthew Stafford. Expected to participate in the Rams' first padded practice of training camp Monday. Stafford reported to training camp earlier this week with a sore back, which has resulted in him working inside with team trainers in the meantime. After agreeing to a new 2-year, $80 million contract with the Rams in the offseason, he's set to serve as the team's starting quarterback for a 5th consecutive season, and his top wide receiver duo will be Puka Nacua and Davante Adams after LA moved on from Cooper Kupp. Matt fucking Stafford. Kyron Williams, what do we got? Expected to practice after reporting the Rams training camp in the midst of contract negotiations. Fucking contracts. According to Ian Rappaport, Williams was a candidate to stage a hold-in until he got a new deal, but the running back himself dismissed the idea, telling ESPN he'll take the field throughout training camp and even week 1 if a new contract hasn't been worked out. Williams remains the Rams' unquestioned number 1 running back on the heels of back-to-back 1,000-yard campaigns on the ground, in which he also combined for 31 total touchdowns in 28 regular season games. Next up, behind Williams on the depth chart, are 2024 third-round pick Blake Corum and rookie 4th-rounder Jarquez Hunter. Get your ass in there, Kyron. What do we got? Edwards. True Edwards. On the PUP list, it's unclear what type of injury Edwards has, but he'll be eligible to participate in the practice and preseason games once he's recovered. He signed with the Rams as an undrafted free agent late April after a strong final collegiate season at Louisiana Tech, catching 84 passes for 986 yards and 6 touchdowns across 13 games. You know what it is? We're looking for sleepers. We're looking for sleepers. Anything on Davante Adams? No news on Davante. Puka Nacua. Entrenched as the top 2 options in the Rams' revamped room. Nacua is only returning regular starter wide receiver, with Cooper Kupp and DeMarcus Robinson now playing for NFC West rivals. Tutu Atwell and Jordan Whittington are set to compete for the number 3 job, which probably won't entail a ton of targets when both Nacua and Adams are healthy. Playing alongside Adams instead of Kupp will make it even harder for Nacua to approach last year's unsustainable, league-high 39% target rate, but he can potentially make up for a reduced share by playing more snaps. He took on 430, 87, and 11 regular season games last year and scoring more touchdowns. Get your ass in there, Puka Nacua. Everybody's getting injured. Mark Redmond, placed on the PUP list, joined the Rams as an undrafted free agent. Faces an uphill, yeah, fuck him off. Uphill fucking battle. Everybody with the uphill battle. Terrence Ferguson, ready to sign his rookie deal with Los Angeles after having agreed to terms with the team on his 4-year contract. Ferguson had been among the second-round picks of the 2025 draft, holding out for more guaranteed money in the rookie contracts. And Schefter now reports that he roughly gets $8 million of his 4-year, $9.7 deal guaranteed. Ferguson's draft capital and pass-catching chops promise real upside in the Rams' offense, surpassing 32-year-old incumbent starter Tyler Higbee. However, Higbee is healthy after missing most of 2024 due to injury, and he will provide a notable challenge for the rookie. Higbee is scheduled to hit free agency this next offseason. He sucks. He sucks. There's no news on Higbee, right? There's nothing. You suck, Higbee. You piece of shit. You. Ferguson, get the fuck in there. A lot of Rams in that game. They're playing Houston. That could be an explosive fucking game. All right. After Stafford would be Tua. Rams. Miami. What do we got on Tua Tagliabue-Genova? Any news on Tua? No news. Nothing on our running backs. Devin Achane. Anything on Mr. Achane? Nothing on Devin Achane. Tyreek Hill. Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. All right, what do we got here on Westbrook-Ikhine? Participating in the first week of training camp. He's back healthy after missing June minicamp with an undisclosed injury. Westbrook-Ikhine is on a 2-year, $5.99 million contract that includes $3.2 million guaranteed. Following an unusual 2024 in which he accounted for 9 of Tennessee's 22 receiving touchdowns, despite ranking 5th on the team in receptions. He and Malik Washington are the top candidates for Miami's wide receiver snaps, behind Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. I'm down with Nick Westbrook-Ikhine as a major sleeper. Tyreek Hill said Tuesday he's fully healthy heading into training camp. Hill added he's working hard in the offseason and has something to prove after coming off a disappointing 2024 season. He's reportedly trimmed down to 183 pounds and he claims he hasn't lost any of his trademark speed. Hill is entering his age 31 season and coming off a year in which he failed to reach 1,000 yards for the first time since 2019, despite starting all 17 regular season contests for the Dolphins. Having Tua Tagliabue-Genova back healthy will certainly help, but Hill's yards per game dropped dramatically from 2023 to 2024. The plus is that there will be plenty of volume available in a concentrated Miami passing offense that lacks reliable targets behind Hill, Jalen Waddle, Devin Achane, and potentially Darren Waller. Anything on Waddle? Should we take all 3 Miami receivers? No, we're not. Darren Waller is back in the league, and he's out already. You stink. Noted that Waller's placement on the PUP list is standard procedure for players coming out of retirement. With that in mind, McDaniel indicated the team is simply taking a preventative and responsible approach by easing Waller into the mix in terms of the tight end's physical readiness at the onset of training camp. This is a well-conditioned athlete who's in great shape. Once Waller retakes the field, he'll have an opportunity to fill in the void created by the trade of fellow tight end Jonnu Smith, who was traded to the Steelers last month. I ain't feeling that yet. Move on for that motherfucker. Moving on. Bryce Young. And the Carolina Panthers. We're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. What do we got on Bryce Young? Goddamn thing. Nothing on the running game. Chuba? Anything on Chuba? Come on, Chuba, give me something. Nothing on Chuba Hubbard. What about the receiving core? Here we go. We got some recon. Another fucking guy out. Dan Chisnia. What the fuck? Placed on the PUP list can be... I'm not even reading that shit anymore. It's fucking garbage. Jimmy Horn Jr. What do we got? Participated Wednesday's practice. Suffered a hamstring injury during OTAs, but he looks past the issue. Good. Fuck you then. I need good shit. Oh, here we go. Tashora McMillan. Participating in team drills at training camp. McMillan missed some time at minicamp after colliding with a defender. but he seems to be past the minor issue and is all systems go for the start of training camp. The number 8 overall pick in the 2025 draft back in April, McMillan should immediately slot in as the Panthers' starting X-receiver on the outside. His average draft position has been dipping in recent weeks, and the rookie looks to be a potential bargain in the 6th and 7th rounds of early summer fantasy drafts. Get his ass in there. We got here tight end. Oh, God, fucking dog shit. What do we got here? Tommy Tremble. Gabe Canales said Wednesday that Tremble won't practice soon but can be ready in 3 to 4 weeks. Good for him. Read it. Read it. You need some recon. Read it. Tremble is on the PUP list at the start of training camp, and it sounds like he may remain there until mid-August or so, which puts his week 1 availability into question. He had a procedure on his back in May, 2 months after re-signing with the Panthers on a 2-year contract. Tremble is mostly known for his blocking. Oh, good for it. Fuck off. Reading that shit. I just fucking clicked this guy again. Mabry. Tyler Mabry. Signed to a contract Tuesday. Mabry spent the previous 5 campaigns in Seattle's organization and got into 12 regular season games, catching his lone target for his 7-yard touchdown in 2022. He'll get a chance to compete for a depth role in the Panthers' tight end core, though he'll likely need to make a strong impression to make the season opening roster. Jatavian Sanders. Nothing. Not a goddamn thing. Moving on. Who is after the Panthers? Why do they do that? Penix. Michael Penix Jr. Henry Jones Jr. What do we got on the kid Penix? Penix heads in the training camp as Atlanta's undisputed starting quarterback. Kirk Cousins presumably still wants to be traded. That didn't stop him from attending spring practices and likely won't keep him out of training camp. The veteran is taking second-team reps now after the Falcons averaged 32 points per game in Penix's 3 starts at the end of the season. Bijan Robinson scored 2 touchdowns in each of the 3 games, and Drake London had 352 yards and 2 touchdowns on 39 targets. Apart from the quarterback change and Ryan Nzul replacing Drew Damien at center, Atlanta's starting offense looks much the same as it did last summer. All the team's projected 2025 starters were in Atlanta last offseason, when offensive coordinator Zach Robinson installed his scheme. Well. Bijan recently said one of his goals this season is to create more explosive runs. Robinson averaged an impressive 4.8 yards per carry last season, but he produced just 1 run of longer than 30 yards. 31 players had multiple runs of 30-plus yards last season, and 7 different players had 5 or more. Robinson had just 12 of his 304 carries produced 15-plus yards, as he was one of the running backs least reliant on big plays. He wants to change that heading into his 3rd season. Robinson is consensus top 5 fantasy pick ahead of training camp. He's a top 5 pick right here. Receivers, what do we got? Nothing down here. What do we got? Darnell Mooney is dealing with a shoulder injury and will be out a few weeks. Mooney had to leave the field with a trainer on Thursday after hurting his shoulder while trying to make a diving catch during practice. The injury certainly puts the wide receiver's wideout status in doubt for the Falcons' first preseason game, which will take place August 8th versus Detroit, and can also impact his availability for the remainder of the preseason slate, and even potentially to week 1 of the campaign. Atlanta signed veteran receiver DJ Chark on Friday to add depth to its wideout core in wake of Mooney's injury. Drake, what do we got? Anything on Drake London? Nothing on Drake London. Drake London. Kyle fucking Pitts. Disappointment. Penix said Thursday he plans to throw a lot of passes to Pitts this year. Early in the day, Falcons coach Raheem Morris said Pitts was medically cleared for training camp but might have modifications to his practice plan after missing spring practices with a foot injury. Pitts then went out and made a bunch of big plays during the first practice of camp, prompting Penix to tell reporters there's going to be a lot of that this year. It's a good sign for their chemistry, perhaps, after Pitts just got 10 targets and Penix 3 starts last season, thus closing out the year with 6 or fewer targets in each of Atlanta's last 10 games. William McFadden of the Packers official site notes Pitts mostly worked out with the wide receivers during position drills Thursday. All right. Sounds good for the coming year. This guy's been a big fucking disappointment, to be honest with you. Moving on. Drake fucking May. Drake May and the Patriots. First game on the fucking slate. What do we got, Drake? Anything good on Drake the fucking snake? Drake the Snake Man. Nothing. Not a bloody thing. Defense, Travion. Anything on Travion? Top rookie, any old news, any old recon we could use? Well, we got some recon here in the receiving core. Jeremiah Webb. Activated from the active non-football injury list this Wednesday. Webb joined the Patriots as an undrafted free agent this spring and was sidelined to begin the camp. Fuck off. Hate the same boring fucking thing you keep reading. Jalen Polk wasn't present for the start of Thursday's practice. The report notes that Polk, who had previously been dealing with a shoulder issue, passed his initial training camp physical, then subsequently had what was considered minor muscle tightness. For now, consider the wideout day-to-day, but the sooner the 2024 second round of practice, the better. As Reese notes that Polk is facing a bit, cares. You're looking for something interesting, so we keep looking. We'll always look. We're looking for a sleeper, a nice low, dense sleeper. Mac Hollins on the active PUP. You know, it's like fucking baseball. When you start reading the same fucking thing they open with, you just gotta get at it. Stephon Diggs and Demario Douglas open training camp Wednesday as New England's first team wide receivers. All right. Diggs is locked in for the starting job, assuming his return from an ACL tear continues to go swimmingly. And Douglas figures to be the main slot man again. That leaves Boot to compete with rookie third-round pick Kyle Williams and others for the starting job, with Boot hoping to build on his strong finish to 2024. He had 240 yards and 2 touchdowns over the final 3 weeks of the season after recording 336 yards and 1 touchdown over previous 10 starts. Kendrick Bourne has a chance to defend his starting job, but there's also risk of dropping off the roster if he struggles this summer, as Diggs, Douglas, and Williams are locks to make it, leaving only 2 to 3 spots up for grabs between Boot, Bourne, Hollins, Polk, Baker, Chisholm, and others. Eesh, that's a lot of mouths. Stephon Diggs reported no physical restrictions during Wednesday's opening camp practice, in reference to the fact that Diggs is bouncing back from an ACL tear he suffered week 8 of last season. Rabel noted, I know everybody heals differently, especially from that type of injury, but I would say I think it's just a testament to how hard he worked, while adding that the wideout's progress will be monitored throughout training camp. Considering the timing and nature of his injury, Diggs' practice reps figure to be managed this summer. But the fact that he appears to be working without limitations at this stage bodes well for his chances of making an impact in the Patriots' offense right out of the gate this season. But yeah, you got to put him in after that. That's a bloody good review. Another one out. PUP, right? The fucking PUP list. PUP, fuck your mother. Hunter Henry, anything on good old Hunter Henry? Any old news? Always try to look for maybe. Try to dig a little deeper. Nothing? Then we move on, Muffin. The New York Football Jets. Not looking good after what happened to this guy the other day. Justin Fields. Fields is day-to-day and won't be rushed back into practice. Fields was out of the practice field Friday morning, one day after suffering a toe dislocation. But it sounds like he actually didn't participate in any of the drills. Tyrod Taylor took over as the first-team QB, when Fields mostly observing from the sideline. Eesh. Chihuahua. Anything on Tyrod Taylor? Anything on this team? Braylon Allen, what do we got? Looked explosive on the first day of training camp, and expects Allen to play a larger role in the running back's second NFL season. Allen came out of the gate hot in his rookie season, but averaged only 3.1 yards per carry from week 5 onward. The 2025 fourth-round pick out of Wisconsin was the youngest player in the NFL at the start of last season and won't turn 22 years old until January 20th. So some growing pains are to be expected. If he can successfully run with power behind his 6'1" frame, Allen can efficiently complement shifty back Breece Hall, though the 2024 fifth-round pick Isaiah Davis is also trying to carve out a role in the Jets' backfield that's unchanged from 2024 in terms of personnel. That's worth a draft. Anything on Breece? Nothing on Breece. Receivers. Isaac Charles, PUP, right? On the PUP. Yeah, you know me. All right, Malachi participated in Wednesday's practice. Sorely missed most of OTAs and minicamp due to an undisclosed injury. He was cleared to return to practice Wednesday, but struggled during 11-on-11 drills. And the 2024 third rounder will have to make the most of his reps during training camp to earn a spot on the 53-man roster for the 2025 campaign. Corley played just 80 offensive snaps across 9 regular season games last year, posting 3 catches for 16-yard garbage. Garrett? The Jets signed Wilson to a 4-year, $130 million contract extension Monday. The deal contains $90 million guaranteed and locks Wilson up with the Jets through the 2030 season. New York had 2 more seasons of contractual control with Wilson, but the sides are getting the long-term deal out of the way early. Wilson turns 25 years old next week and has produced 3 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons since the Jets used the number 10 overall pick on the wideout of Ohio State in the 2022 draft. Wilson set career best across the board last season with his 101, 1,100-yard, 7-touchdown receiving line, and again looks to be the unquestioned alpha wide receiver 1 with the Jets, following the release of Davante Adams earlier in the offseason. The problem is who's throwing him the ball. Mason Taylor signed his 4-year rookie contract with the Jets on Friday. Taylor's 4-year, $10.5 million contract includes $9.6 million in guaranteed money. The Jets now have all their draft picks under contract, 1 day before the rookies are set to report to training camp. Taylor, who the Jets drafted 42nd overall in the second round of the 2025 draft, will compete for the starting tight end role around against Jeremy Ruckert and Stone Smart, who both have 1 regular season NFL touchdown between them. We like the kid. I guess we take Justin fucking Fields here. Just call it for what it is for now. Just keep an eye on it. I don't want to ignore the Jets. I said it's day to day. If he's not in, we take Tyrod Taylor. But as of now, that's our starter. Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks. Darnold will take quarterback reps when training camp starts Wednesday. And there isn't a quarterback competition with rookie third-round pick Jalen Milroe. This settlement has been echoed by multiple Seahawks beat writers as well as head coach Mike McDonald. Milroe is an intriguing prospect with massive upside, specifically when his running ability and arm strength, but his accuracy remains a significant question mark and will need time to develop. Regardless, Darnold had signed a 3-year, $100 million contract with $55 million guaranteed in the offseason after revitalizing his career with the Vikings in 2024, throwing for 4,300 yards, 35 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions while playing 17 all-season regular season games. Darnold enjoyed throwing behind one of the league's best offensive lines last season, and there are serious question marks about Seattle's young offensive line. Furthermore, Jackson Smith and Jigba and an aging Cooper Kupp don't provide the same explosiveness as Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, thus making it a true prove-it year. Still, Darnold's production was so strong last season that he could live up to his contract expectations, even if he regresses a bit. Jackson Smith and Jigba. Robbie Uzutz worked with the first-team offense during the Seahawks' first day of training camp Wednesday. Fullbacks are a dying breed in the NFL, but as Bell reports, offensive coordinator Ken Kubiak used him on 25% of the Saints' plays last season. The Saints affirmed their commitment to the position by selecting Uzutz in the 5th round and immediately converting him from tight end to fullback, where he started with Kenneth Walker on Thursday. Oots is currently competing with third-year pro Brady Russell for the starting job. Or he's just he's one of those fucking, he's lead blocker. He's Mike Allstott. Maybe he gets touchdowns, though. Zach Carbonet and Kenneth Walker give Seattle backfield continuity and an otherwise revamped offense. Offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb, quarterback Geno Smith, and wide receivers DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett are out, replaced by Clinton Kubiak, Sam Darnold, Cooper Kupp, and Marquise Valdez-Scantling, respectively. Seattle's backfield, on the other hand, looks the same as last year, with Walker and Carbonet atop the depth chart while Kenny McIntosh fends off competition for the number 3 job. There have been some beat writer whispers about Carbonet potentially challenging Walker for the starting job under a new coaching staff, although nobody from the Seahawks has said anything to that effect. Ooh, shit. You have to take them both, maybe. Kenneth Walker III was a full practice participant to begin training camp. He looks great. He's in a great spot mentally. Awesome to see him do all the things we want him to do from the get-go. I know he's really excited about what's going on. Great first day with Ken. Walker managed just one appearance over the final 5 regular season games of the 2024 campaign due to an ankle injury, which also limited him during the offseason program. Now that he's back to 100%, the third-year pro can focus on maintaining a foothold on the number 1 spot on the running back depth chart for the Seahawks. In the 11 contests in which both he and backup Zach Carbonet played last year, the former racked up 199 touches to the latter's 67, a breakdown that should remain similar as long as both players are healthy. Like double running backs in this fucking game. I'm into it. Anything on the receiving core? Nothing. Come on, Jackson Smith and Jig. Nothing. Cooper Kupp. Nada. All right, what do we got going on here? Tight end. Oh, we got some recon. Arroyo. Elijah Arroyo will compete with A.J. Barner for the starting tight end job if the Seahawks released Noah Fant on Sunday. A rookie second-round pick, Arroyo was going to be in the mix for the starting job regardless, but Fant's departure opens the door further. Arroyo, 6'5", 255 pounds, struggled with knee injuries during his second and third seasons at Miami before reeling in 35 passes for 590 yards and 7 touchdowns in his final collegiate campaign. He didn't test at the NFL Combine or Pro Day due to a knee injury, but he's considered a standout athlete anyway. A.J. Barnard is considered a better blocker and held his own as a rookie, starting 6 of 17 games and finishing with a 32-45-4 line. Arroyo impressed the rookie minicamp with his ability to challenge safeties with his size and speed. There's probably room for both tight ends to have significant roles in the offense, but for fantasy purposes, Arroyo has the more compelling upside. All right, so let's read about Barner. A.J. Barner will compete with rookie Elijah Arroyo for the starting tight end job after the Seahawks released Noah Fant on Sunday. The Seahawks selected Arroyo in the second round of April's draft and signed Eric Saubert in the offseason, allowing them flexibility to move on from Fant with a 1 year left on his deal. A 2024 fourth-round pick, Barner started 6 games as a rookie and finished with 30 receptions for 245 yards and 4 touchdowns over 17 games. Barner will face stiff competition from Arroyo for the starting job in 2025. Arroyo is likely the better athlete of the two and should eventually command more attention in the passing room, but Barner will look for leverage his experience to hold off the newcomer. Fuck that, I'm taking Arroyo. I mean, technically, you could take them both if you wanted to go Barner in the flex, but I don't think we go that far. So we're going to make a judgment call and go with the hot rookie hand. Now again, training camp comes on, and we hear that Arroyo stinks it up, we can replace it. We get plenty of time. We've got all the time in the world. Moving on. It's agonizing, but it's exciting. It's football. And football's here. Football's here. Jacksonville. There's so much recon. And there'll be more in the coming weeks. Check every few days. Trevor Lawrence said Wednesday that he's 100% healthy entering training camp. I feel really good. It's the best I've felt in a long time physically. Lawrence played just 10 regular season games last season due to a concussion and the left non-throwing shoulder injury, the latter which required surgery. Lawrence was taking it slow during the offseason program, but he's back to full health and rejuvenated in new coach Liam Cohen's offense. The Jaguars returned Brian Thomas as the alpha wide receiver 1 and used the number 2 overall pick on Travis Hunter. Lawrence is an intriguing mid-round fantasy quarterback who could greatly outproduce his average draft position if he's able to spike his touchdown rate in an offense flush with playmakers. God damn. That's a good fucking review. Anything on the running game? Nada. We got some recon. Anything on Brian Thomas Jr.? Not a bloody thing. Travis Hunter, however, what do we got? Coach Liam Cohen said Wednesday that Hunter will soon practice on offense and defense on the same day, which will then kind of become the norm for the rookie. Cohen wants Hunter to start training camp with a few days only on offense and with a few only on defense, before shifting to both on the same day within a week or two. Cohen said in April that Hunter would start the offseason program focusing on offense, with subsequent quotes from the Jaguars GM James Gladstone suggesting Hunter is more naturally comfortable on defense and needed to focus on learning Cohen's playbook. It sounds like Hunter is preparing to play on offense and defense come week 1, although he might only be a part-time player on one or both sides of the ball. Ooh, Travis Hunter sounds exciting. That's a special kind of player, they say. Against fucking Carolina, come on. You know, Jersey? Come on, huh? All right. Travis Hunter. Moving on. Aaron fucking Rodgers. Douche. LaRouche. Who's Pittsburgh playing the Jets? Ooh, they should beat up on the Jets. They should beat up on the Jets. Nothing on Aaron. The kid Caleb. First, Cordell Patterson did not participate in individual team drills during the Steelers' first training camp Thursday. Head coach Mike Tomlin told reporters that Patterson is considered day-to-day, though the specifics of the injury were not shared. Patterson is entering his second season with the Steelers, and the veteran figures to resume his role as a versatile playmaker in the offense. He finished the 2024 regular season with 32 carries and 132 yards and 12 catches on 14 targets. Garbage. Caleb, the rookie, second running back in with the first team offense in Thursday's practice after Jalen Warren. It's just one practice, but nonetheless a good sign the offensive coordinator Arthur Smith is preparing Johnson to replace Najee Harris. The Steelers don't have Cordell Patterson available at the start of training camp, leaving free agent signing Kenneth Gainwell and Trey Sermon as the veterans for competing for backup roles. The Steelers hope Johnson will end up pushing Warren for more first-team snaps, rather than struggling during camp and worrying about Gainwell, Patterson, Sermon ripping at the heels. I like it. The kid Caleb. Anything on DK Metcalf? Nothing. Roman Wilson. Open training camp with the starting offense Thursday. Wilson and DK Metcalf took the first reps in both 11 and 12 personnel, with Calvin Austin as the third receiver for three receiver sets, the same role he had last season. It's a sign the Steelers have high hopes for Wilson, a 2024 third-round pick, after he was either injured or a healthy scratch for nearly all of his rookie season. In addition to Wilson and Austin, the competition for wide receiver snaps behind Metcalf includes Robert Woods, Scotty Miller, and Ben Skawarnik. All right, Roman, I need you to be my fucking sleeper, pal. Be my sleeper. Be Aaron Rodgers' fucking go-to that nobody thinks about, and then I win a lot of goddamn money because of you. Jonnu Smith did limited individual drills at Friday's practice. Steelers coach Mike Tomlin said Thursday that Smith is considered day-to-day with an unspecified injury. Acquired in late June trade, Smith has only done individual work during his first 2 practices in Pittsburgh. He and Pat Freiermuth gave the Steelers an impressive pass-catching duo at tight end. But it remains to be seen if one of the two can take a large enough share of the targets to be worthy of starting in fantasy. Smith caught fire from Miami last October and stayed hot through the end of the last year, ultimately catching more passes over the final 8 games than he caught in any of his previous NFL seasons combined. The second-best receiving campaign was the year before, 2023 in Atlanta, when he put up 50, 582, 3 on 70 targets under current Steelers play caller Arthur Smith. What about Frymouth? Anything? Frymouth will play alongside fellow tight end Jonnu Smith after the Steelers traded for Smith on Monday. Coming off an 88-catch breakout campaign with playing in all 17 regular season games, Smith represents a threat to Frymouth's playing time at 11 personnel, even if they can work together symbiotically in multi-tight end formations. Frymouth is entering the first year of a 4-year, $48 million contract extension, while Smith just signed a 1-year, $12 million extension through 2026. Both tight ends will find it difficult to approach their 2024 volume, competing against each other, and with DK Metcalf for targets from a 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers in Arthur Smith's first run offense. Oh, Jonnu Smith plays for Arthur Smith. Okay, good. Then we're taking Jonnu fucking Smith. That's what makes sense. Moving on. Geno Smith in the Las Vegas Raiders. The kid Geno. Geno Smith. Wish they would just have the news on the first screen, but I guess they're not doing that shit anymore. Ashton Jonty. Nothing. Not a goddamn thing. Oh, we got some recon in the receiver core. What do we got? Seth Williams. Signed to a contract Tuesday. Williams was a sixth-round selection by the Broncos in the 2021 draft. He got into 2 games with Denver as a rookie, making 1 catch for 34 yards, but hasn't logged any NFL action since. Williams spent time on the practice squad of Jacksonville and Dallas over the last 3 years, and also appeared in 2 regular season and postseason games apiece for the UFL's DC Defenders last spring. He'll now try to make an impression with the Raiders. Now this guy, this says sleeper all over it. A UFL kid. Deep receiving core. They don't know what the fuck they're doing yet. They can be throwing wild shit all over the place. That is what we call a fucking sleeper. Of course, he might not make the roster. For $1 million for $5, we'll take a chance. You want absolutely fucking solo own, nobody's thinking about it. The Raiders signed Philip Dorsett to a contract Tuesday. Dorsett previously played with the Raiders in March and was unable to break camp with the club. The veteran wideout hasn't gotten into an NFL game since the 2023 campaign, when he played in 2 regular season contests with Denver and didn't catch any of his targets. Dorsett will now have a chance to compete for a depth role with the Raiders receiver core, though he'll likely need to make a good impression to nab a roster spot. I like the UFL guy better. Dante Thornton Jr. continued to get first-team reps at training camp and got underway for the Raiders on Wednesday. Thornton saw work with the first-team offense during the team's mandatory minicamp in mid-June. The wide receiver continued to work with the starting quarterback Geno Smith in the top unit Wednesday, joining the group whenever the offense was in 11 personnel. Thornton ran an impressive 4:32 40-yard time at the 40-yard dash at the NFL Scouting Combine, which makes sense considering he averaged 25 yards per catch as a vertical threat in his final season of collegiate action with Tennessee in 2024. The wide receiver will likely have every shot to carve out a consistent role for himself with the Raiders in 2025. Take his ass. He's in. Jack Beck. I could have swore we had some recon on Jack Beck. Yes. Signed a 4-year deal with the Raiders on Friday. Beck, who was the 58th overall pick in the 2025 draft, has an opportunity as a rookie to step into a key role in a Raiders wideout core that continues to be led by Jacoby Myers and also includes returnee Trey Tucker and 2025 4th-rounder Dante Thornton. It remains to be seen what sort of volume the 6'1", 214-pounder of TCU will see out of the gate with Myers and Brock Bowers destined to be quarterback Geno Smith's primary passing targets. But Beck could emerge as a lineup option in deeper formats if he's able to earn consistent playing time as the 2025 regular season progresses. You know, I'm starting to have second thoughts about Williams here. A lot of mouths to feed. Jacoby Myers, as the Raiders' first training camp approaches, Myers remains locked in as a starter of the team's wide receiver core. Though Myers can also line up outside, most of his reps at OTAs came in the slot. After recording an 87 1,004 receiving line and a career-high 129 targets over 15 regular season games in 2024, the sure-handed pass catcher seems poised to maintain steady volume in an offense that is now helmed by veteran QB Geno Smith, who should represent an upgrade over Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell, while Myers remains entrenched as the wide receiver's number 1. The Raiders, number 1. It's a 3-man competition between Trey Tucker, Jack Beck, and Deontay Thornton for slotting behind the 28-year-old. You get Myers in there. Cut Williams. Sorry, Williams. Sorry, sir. Brock Bowers, anything on Brock Bowers. Give me something. Give me a reason to put him in. Fuck your mother. Moving on. Because we're moving on up. And the Colts. This is a tough one because I'm not sure who the starting quarterback will be week 1. They are playing the Dolphins. Anthony Richardson Sr. with his passing during the first 2 practices of training camp. The good news for Richardson is no report of any issue or setback with the right shoulder injury that held him out of June minicamp. He seems to be a full participant so far in camp, although it sounds like he hasn't done himself any favors so far in the competition with Daniel Jones. Both quarterbacks are getting first-team reps, with Boyd noting that the Colts defense has looked better than the offense so far. It's not good. What we got on Jones? Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson split first-team snaps during Wednesday's opening training camp practice. The Colts held 14 periods during Wednesday's session, with Jones working with the starters for the first 2, while Richardson took the first-team snaps during the final 2. In the process, each quarterback was given 16 team snaps, which aligns with Coach Shane Steichen's plan to alternate the 2 signal calls in training camp as they compete for Week 1 starting assignment. While there's a chance that Richardson could have some volume restrictions in the coming days after experiencing soreness in his throwing shoulder this summer, the 2023 first rounder was cleared to participate in training camp, setting the stage for a job battle that Steichen noted is really going to come down to who's the most consistent as the summer progresses. Daniel, it's yours, buddy. Take it. It's yours, kid. It's yours. Jonathan Taylor. Free agent signee Khalil Herbert and rookie 5th-round pick DJ Giddens are expected to compete for backup RB roles behind Taylor. The Colts still have 3rd-year back Tyler Goodson, who took 43 touches with 214 yards and 2 touchdowns last season while splitting work with Trey Sermon in the 3 games Taylor missed. Taylor played a career-high 79% of the snaps in his 14 active games last year, up from 57% in 2023, 70% in 2022, and 68% in 2021. They can lose a few snaps touches down the backfield in 2025 if the backup situation improves, but neither Giddens nor Herbert is likely to handle a significant workload. Taylor has averaged at least 17 touches and 89 total yards per game in each of his 5 pro seasons, albeit with minimal receiving production and repeated ankle injuries the past few years. He's an animal, though. Wide receiver core. What do we got? Michael Pittman Jr. participated in Wednesday's opening training camp practice. An experience of knee soreness during the final day of Indianapolis voluntary OTAs. But he's good to go for training camp and set to reprise his key role in the wide receiver core that also returns Alec Pierce, Josh Downs, and Adonai Mitchell. One major question that remains to be settled, however, is which quarterback they'll be catching passes from in Week 1, with Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones currently competing for the starting job. Get in there, Pittman. You be the man. You fucking spearhead that shit. Anything? No. Tight end? Come on, give me something on this fucking crazy rookie kid. Nothing on goddamn Tyler Clark. Moving on, it could be deadly. The New York Football Giants. Russell fucking Wilson. He's been as a fantasy black hole. Ryan Day will confirm Wednesday that Wilson is the team's starting quarterback. Wilson took the first team reps throughout the offseason program and will continue to do so in training camp. Daboll's comments Wednesday suggest Jameis Winston and first-round pick Jackson Dart are competing for the number 2 quarterback spot rather than making any push for Wilson's place atop the depth chart. There's nonetheless a decent chance that Dart and/or Winston makes some points to start at some point this year, in part because the Giants aren't expected to field a strong team. They'll play 6 of their first 8 games against 2024 playoff participants, including Week 1 at Washington and Week 6 and 8 Against the Eagles. Jesus. Not very confident. Eric Gray. PUP. Yeah, you know me. Devin Singletary. Likely to remain on the Giants roster despite Tyrone Tracy's role as the primary ball carrier and the addition of Cam Scatabo in the draft. Tracy and Scatabo provide promise as young and talented 1-2 punch and can lead to Singletary taking on a reduced role in New York's offense. However, the veteran still appears to be a lock for the roster because both his experience is valued on and off the field, and perhaps more importantly because the Giants wouldn't gain any cap savings if they were to release him. After signing a 3-year, $16 million contract with New York in March of 2024, Singletary ceded the lead ball-carrying duties to Tracy over the course of last year and averaged just 3.9 yards per carry of 113 rushes across 15 contests, adding 21 receptions on 24 yards, 24 targets. That's not good. The 1-2 punch. Yet we have no recon. Malik Neighbors. Oh, what do we got on Malik? What do we got on the kid Neighbors? What do we got? Coach Brian Dable suggested Thursday that Neighbors could require continued management, even though the wideout is practicing at the start of training camp. Neighbors said Wednesday that his toe feels good at the moment, but might end up requiring surgery at some point in his career. It's an issue that dates back to college, and while it popped up again towards the end of his rookie season, Neighbors nonetheless had 235 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns over the final 2 weeks, making his case as a first-round fantasy pick for 2025. He's mostly going in the second half of the first round now, with ADP reflecting minimal concern, if any, about the toe injury that held him out of the spring practices. It's in. Anything? Theo Johnson? Any recon? Johnson says he wants to play in all 17 of the Giants' regular season games during the upcoming season. I've been taking my recovery and my health, what I'm putting in my body and everything more serious than I ever have. I think that's the biggest goal for me is prioritizing my health and wellness and making sure that I'm available and consistent through 17 games. Johnson missed New York's Final 5 contest last year due to a foot injury, but he's back to full health and has participated in the team's OTAs this offseason. Though he got off to a somewhat rocky start as a rookie, Johnson has been coming on strong prior to getting hurt, averaging 3.6 catches for 43 yards over his final 5 contests. He looked to build upon that production as the Giants' top tight end in 2025, and there is potential for more opportunities now that Johnson is working with a revamped quarterback room that features Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, and promising rookie Jackson Dart. We'll take him. We will take the kid. 4 teams to go. It's a marathon when you're playing this fucking shit. But it's the first. It's playing for $1 million fucking dollars. Remember that. You're playing for $1 million. Gotta be patient. Otherwise, what's the bloody point? Matter of fact, I'm gonna get some water. Just give me a second. By the new Faro's Lounge Kickstarter. Let me get my water. Ugh. Oh, yeah. Mama. Oh, man, look at my run. Where are we? Cam Ward of the Titans. All right, kid, what do we got? Cam Ward holding first team reps during Wednesday's opening trade camp practice. While the Titans haven't officially declared Ward the starter, Davenport indicates that the number 1 overall pick in the 2025 draft is firmly in line to claim the job after the team announced Monday that Will Levis, who is now on IR, will have season-ending surgery on his right shoulder next week. Currently in the mix, backup Ward this coming season are free agent acquisitions Brandon Allen and Tim Boyle. Jamar Jefferson. Signed to a contract Wednesday, Jefferson appeared in 2 regular season games for the Lions in 2024, posting 6 carries for 22 yards and 1 catch and as many targets for 10 yards. The 2021 7th-round pick will use training camp and preseason to audition for a spot on the Titans roster. He might be a good sleeper, man. May end up being our sleeper. No Taiji Spears, nothing on Tony Pollard. To audition for a spot. Because again, the Titans are a brand new team, kind of. Audition for a spot. He's auditioning for a spot. He's getting fucking. Man, that's not enough. It's not enough. That's not a whim. That's nothing caught me there. Ridley, what do you got? Ridley, anything? Up, Ridley. Ridley. Calvin Ridley is re-energized for his second year with the Titans after the team selected Cam Ward with first overall pick in the 2025 draft. Ridley had a successful opening season with the Titans, surpassing 1,000 receiving yards for the third time in his career. That achievement was made more impressive by the fact that he suffered from inconsistent quarterback play from Will Levis and Mason Rudolph, something the team hopes to have remedied with the selection of Ward. Wyatt noted that Ridley has taken to mentoring the rookie quarterback, developing rapport with him that could translate to more production come the regular season. Oh, that's intriguing. That is very intriguing, to a point where Ridley might have to be a fucking lock. Let's see what other recon we got here. Colton Dowell. Waived on Friday. Good. Go nuts. Traylon Burks expressed optimism that Burks will be one of the Titans' top receivers in 2025. Burks has had a difficult start to his NFL career due to a combination of poor performance and injury. He's recovering from a torn ACL heading into his fourth campaign and has been practicing at the start of training camp, which should be a positive indication of his availability come the regular season. The Titans have drafted Jameer DK and Ilik Ayomayawa, and also signed Van Jefferson and Tyler Lockett this offseason, giving Burks increased competition for targets. Anything on Lockett? Another thing. Do we want to read about this Dowell? Is that bugging me? 2 targets, 3 yards, special teams. He sucks. Fuck him. Stop worrying so much. All right, tight end. Chig Okonkwo. Nothing. What about this kid, Gunnar Helm? Anything? Any news? No news. But we like fucking Ridley. Ooh, I like that report. 3 teams to go. What do we got? No guess just yet. We're doing this shit again, resets again, fucking re-wheel again. Motherfucker. Who's after Ward? Jolton Joe Flacco. And for $5, if Jolton Joe goes off against the fucking Bengals, you're going to win $1 million. Jolton Joe has made somebody a millionaire in fucking Draftkings before. Jolton Joe Flacco. Flacco was the first quarterback up for 11 on 11 work Thursday after Kenny Pickett did the honors Wednesday. Jackson notes that Flacco sometimes takes fewer reps than the other quarterbacks because he's much older and more experienced. It otherwise sounds like Flacco and Pickett are on equal footing in competition for the Week 1 starting job. Dylan Gabriel's been the third quarterback through drills ahead of fellow rookie Shedeur Sanders, but there's still plenty of time this summer for the latter to make a push up the depth chart. All right, where's Cleveland? The Cleveland Browns. A lot of quarterbacks. Kenny Pickett got the first crack with the starters during Cleveland's 11 on 11 session Wednesday. Pickett got the nod Wednesday to operate as the team's first quarterback during 11 on 11, while Joe Flacco sat at the session. Flacco saw the first team reps, the first team offense during a modified 7 on 7 versus Cleveland's number 1 back 7. Considering it was the team's first full team workout, it'd be unwise to read in too deeply, but it appears Pickett is a step above rookies Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, and he could be ready, the early favorite to compete with Joe Flacco for the starting role Week 1 versus the Bengals. It's Flacco. Get the fuck out of here. This fucking piece of shit I drafted a whole bunch of times. GM Andrew Berry acknowledged Thursday the Browns may not see Judkins on the field at training camp for a while. Judkins, who the Browns took in the second round of the 2025 draft, remains unsigned after he was arrested July 12th in Fort Lauderdale on a charge of battery and domestic violence in reference to the rookie running back status as training camp approaches. Barry noted in terms of those decisions, signing being at camp and everything like that, it's honestly probably too early to make any kind of determination. So as we gather information, we'll have a better view on that, while adding that sometimes the information comes a bit slowly, but we're still in probably the information give. Cares. Fuck you. Fucking waste of a draft pick. You suck, my asshole. Jerome Ford. Worked out with the athletic training staff Friday and is closer to practicing. Browns coach Kevin Stefanski has been consistently optimistic that Ford's absence at the start of camp won't last long. With rookie second-round pick Quinshon Jenkins unsigned and facing legal problems, the Browns are left with only fourth-round pick Dylan Sampson, Pierre Strong, and undrafted free agent Amani Marshall as the available running backs for the opening days of training camp. Ford will likely be the leader of the group once he's ready to return from his unspecified injury. What about you, Dylan Sampson? Anything? Ooh. Browns running back coach Deuce Staley said at mandatory camp in June that Sampson has gotten work as a running back and receiver. Staley also stated that Sampson has worked out with wide receivers coach Chad O'Shea and that the rookie fourth-round pick is able to play in the slot and also ready to go and play on third down and maybe sprinkle in a little second down. The running backs coach also noted that fellow running back Quinshon Jenkins, who the Browns drafted 2 rounds ahead of Sampson, will be able to do a little something at receiver as well. Meanwhile, incumbent Jerome Ford has already demonstrated tangible pass-catching chops, and Staley praised his speed and ability to pick up the blitz and catch the ball. While all 3 of Cleveland's top running backs could see tangible usage in the passing game, Lab hypothesizes that as things currently stand, Judkins and Sampson forget to leave the Browns' revamped backfield, with Ford serving as the number 3 back. Sampson didn't catch many passes in college at Tennessee, including the team's starter in 2024. So it's come as a surprise if he in fact beats out Ford for pass-catching down raps at the training camp. But if the fourth-rounder can manage the feat, he'll have a clear path to fantasy relevance in year 1, respectively in PPR formats. This guy's it. Ford sucks, and Judkins is probably going to play this season because he's a fucking jerk-off. We've got recon. In the passing core. Michael Woods II did not participate in Thursday's practice due to a hand injury. Fuck off. David Bell. Oh, God, the active, the pup. Cedric Peanut Tillman. Believed to be okay after leaving practice early Friday due to a lower left leg injury. Tillman had to leave practice field Friday after appearing to hurt his left leg during practice. The specifics of the injury aren't yet clear, but Schultz reports suggest the 25-year-old wideout isn't dealing with a major issue. That's a sigh of relief for Cleveland and Tillman, who's in line to work as the Browns' number 2 wideout this season, behind Jerry Jeudy. Speaking of Jerry Jeudy, as training camp gets underway, Jeudy profiles the Browns' clear-cut number 1 wide receiver. Jeudy is coming off a breakout campaign in 2024, during which he earned his first selection as a Pro Bowler while recording 90 catches on 145 targets, for 1,200 yards and 4 touchdowns in 17 regular season outings. In his second season with Cleveland, the 2020 first-rounder is entrenched as the top wideout, but slotting behind Jeudy has yet to be determined, with Cedric Tillman and Deontay Johnson currently the top candidates to emerge as the team's number 2. Additionally, it remains to be seen who Jeudy will be catching passes from come week 1, given that the Browns' starting QB is up for grabs. For now, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders are the healthy signal callers in the running for the assignment. See, Judy's intriguing because I don't think Cincinnati even has a fucking defense. So Cleveland could end up doing some fucking damage. That could be a high-scoring fucking game. David Njoku. Nothing. And they line this guy up double wide, nothing. All right, kids, moving on. 2 teams to go. Who is after Flacco? Not Pickett, not Gabriel, not Sanders. Spencer Rattler. Oh, so we're not going to do a 2015. Yeah, we're not doing that. So it's either going to be Rattler or Tyler Shook. Rattler got most of the first team reps Wednesday on the first day of training camp, but rookie Tyler Shook is scheduled to work with the starters Thursday. In other words, the Saints will treat their quarterback job battle as a 50-50 competition, although Shook likely has the tiebreaker given his earlier draft status and Rattler's poor numbers last season. Taken in the fifth round last spring, Rattler ended up making 6 starts and completing 57% of his passes for 5.8 yards per attempt, with 4 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. He played better Week 18 at Tampa Bay, but Shook nonetheless seems at least a slight favorite for the Week 1 start under a new coaching staff. Well, shit. Tyler Shook will take the first team reps Thursday after Spencer Rattler worked with the starters Wednesday for the first practice of minicamp. Rattler made 6 starts last season as a rookie 5th-round pick, although that might not help his case much under a new coaching staff considering he competed just 57% of his passes and lost all 6 games. Shook now comes in as a rookie 2nd-round pick, albeit one who will turn 26 in September, to compete for the starting job that opened up when Derek Carr announced his retirement in May. Shook recently signed a fully guaranteed rookie contract, paving the way for normal participation in training camp after he was unsigned for the offseason program. You're in, Shook. The last team. Nolens. Anything on Al Kamara? Nothing on Al. Here we go. Rashid Shaheed. Reported to training camp this week at 190 pounds. Shaheed was listed at 180 pounds last season, but said Thursday that he put on weight in order to hold up better against contact. Shaheed insists he didn't lose any of his speed despite the additional 10 pounds. Nolan's quarterback situation is a tough one, but Shaheed is locked into the 2 wide receiver sets alongside Chris Olave and has the ability to take on any catch into the end zone. He's an exciting target in best ball fantasy drafts and was fantasy's wide receiver 27.5 PPR points per game before going down with a knee injury in week 6 last season. Any catch, the ability to take any catch. They're saying he's good for best ball, but will it be week 1? But you got to put him in here now. At least for this 1 week. Again, we're looking for those fucking sleepers, man. Chris Olave. No restrictions to begin training camp, will be a full participant. Olave participated in the offseason program, so was expected entering camp. The wideout was able to play just 8 regular season games last season due to multiple concussions, and he's going to be catching passes from someone other than Derek Carr in 2025. The Saints are holding a 3-man quarterback competition this summer, with the candidates being 2nd-round rookie Tyler Shook, 2024 5th-rounder Spencer Rattler, and 2023 4th-round pick Jake Haener. That doesn't excite anybody. But Rashid, this excites me because, again, rookie quarterback, Arizona, the ability to take any catch into the end zone. Exciting target. That's what you're looking for. A standout review. We got 2 guys who aren't playing. Pip, the pup. Taysom Hill, the pup. The pup. Fuck the pup. All right, kids. That's all the teams. Now, we got our defense locked in. We like the Rams defense the best. There's certain players that I know I like as we go through each team. Let's figure out who we're going to lock in. Always remember, brought to you by the new Faro's Lounge Kickstarter. All right. Don't fucking do this shit. Huh. This really just happened. This really just fucking happened. Huh. Huh. It fucking reset, you motherfucking cunt. What do we like here again? Nobody here. We like Deebo Samuel. That was it, right? Unfucking believable that it resets like that. Huh. Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. I can smash this computer into 1,000 fucking pieces right now. I won't. Do we like Taj Brooks? We like Taj Brooks as a possible backup. Anything on T. Higgins here? Nothing on T. Higgins. Rams was the D again. I believe it was Chase Brown we also liked, right? We did that review on Chase Brown. A household name by the end of the season. Highest volume backs in the league. And it's the Browns. They're going to grind at the fucking Browns. But Taj Brooks may get some vulture downs. That was it for Cincinnati. And I got to do this reset. One more fucking reset and we're fine. Fine. No more the resets after this, you fucking assholes. What was the other Tampa Bay guy we liked? Nothing here. And it was Ibuka. Nobody at tight end, right? Defense was the Rams. All right, so again, now we're fixed up here. Let's go through these teams real quick. Samuel, we like just because his connection over there. He's mentioned a few times. Chase Brown. Egbuka was interesting. Gibbs, Montgomery are interesting. St. Brown's interesting. Gibbs is a beast. Harrison, semi-interesting. Knicks, what do we got here? Juwan Jennings, McCaffrey, semi-interesting. Jacobs Kraft, so far in terms of tight end, he was probably the best, most interesting tight end. Puka Nacua, I liked. That volume, fucking, the whole thing about his fucking target volume, all that crazy shit. Kyron Williams not complaining, getting his ass in the camp. Plus, who they're playing? Playing Houston. And Houston's got a rough fucking O-line. Kyron Williams might be the way to go over there. Westbrook Akini can be a good fucking sleeper. McMillan we like, and he's not expensive. Bijan, Kyle Pitts, yes, a possible tight end. As they said, he's looking explosive. Diggs, too up in the air still. Way too scary with no quarterback there. Carbonate trying to steal the spot. Arroyo could be a very good cheap fucking pick at tight end. Especially with Darnold might be fucking throwing some fucking emergency passes. I love Travis Hunter. I want Travis Hunter. I think he's fucking special. I think hopefully a lot of people ignore him. Roman Wilson could be a very good sleeper for any team we got to fit some salary cap in there if they're saying that Aaron Rodgers likes him. Thornton as well could be a good sleeper. Pittman, man. Neighbors, maybe. Russell Wilson doesn't excite me. Ridley excites me. Mentoring Cam Ward. Did 1,000-yard fucking season without fucking any decent quarterback play. Sampson is also intriguing to me because of that Browns fucking situation there. But they could be throwing a lot because they could be very well behind there. And Rashid Shaheed. Because he could take any fucking bolt. He can make. I just like that. Like the way that sounds. The ability to take any catch to the end zone. I like Ridley and Shaheed. In terms of running back, Chase Brown, a household name. Let's go across here. I like Ridley and I like Shaheed. So Ridley, Shaheed. Give me Travis Hunter in the flex. Taking Travis Hunter across the board. Tight end wise, it's either Tucker Kraft or Arroyo. I feel like I want to go crazy on Arroyo as a sleeper. I feel like I want Arroyo to be my sleeper tight end, and I got a shitload of money here to spend at fucking. I could take Bijan right here at running back. Yeah, I got Bijan right around Bijan or Gibbs, dude. Oof. Bijan or Gibbs. I can go Gibbs right there. Even upgrade to fucking Bijan. We got 2,800 left over. If you want to go ultimate contrarian, you're right fucking there. If you wanted to upgrade from fucking, let's say you wanted to upgrade from Travis Hunter in the flex. Oh shit, Puka Nacua in the flex? Yeah. Fuck off Travis Hunter. That's a fucking team right there. Daniels, Brown, Gibbs, Samuel, Ridley, Shaheed, Arroyo, Puka fucking Nacua. Certain locks that I'm putting into these lineups across the board. All right. Brown and Brooks, I already got him in there. I'm doing like a little double running back thing right there. Tight end wise, we're going Arroyo across the board. Arroyo across the board. Let's just get those done. I like the idea of going total sleeper on Arroyo. Maybe Darnold fucking has to dump off to him a shitload of times. Tucker Craft was interesting, but not enough to fucking drag me away from Arroyo. Now, in training camp, if I end up reading that fucking Arroyo doesn't get the gig from AJ Barner, I'm going to put fucking Barner in. The point is, I'm going very cheap at tight end week one. I want to blow the fucking money in the fucking trenches. To an Arroyo across the fucking mix, man. Elijah Arroyo. The idea is sometimes we feel like we want to rush, but we just be patient. Oh, we don't have. We'll have Tucker Craft this. No Arroyo on that team. That'll be Tucker Craft. We'll go different on that. And I feel like we're going to take Travis Hunter in the flex. I'm going to do Travis Hunter in the flex, and again, I'm going to make that. If we end up saving some money, like we end up saving some money, if we end up having money left over to play with, then I'm going to fucking we'll upgrade from Travis Hunter. So our two locks are going to be Hunter, Hunter and Arroyo. So I'm going Arroyo in the fucking tight end. I'm going Hunter in the flex for this first batch of lineups. Douche, Larouche. That Dylan Sampson sounds intriguing, but I'm not going to know what's going on yet to that fucking Browns camp. Does some shit. So we're going to get, we'll do two picks right, two locks right now is Arroyo and Hunter. He won't be Arroyo because we got Tuck Craft. CJ Stroud. I'm a Travis Hunter fan. Against Carolina, I think they're going to do some crazy shit. First, let's get back over to tight end. So we got Tua Tagliabova Genova. Arroyo and Hunter. Travis Hunter. Oh, I'm a Travis Hunter fan, especially against fucking Carolina. Let's go Arroyo and Hunter. Now, again, Hunter might do shit week one. And I'll be pissed. Now we got Kyle Pitts, just no Arroyo. We're still definitely going with Travis Hunter in the flex. Again, that flex could be up for grabs if we have a lot of money left over. Could one of these lineups be worth $1 million? We'll have Mason Taylor on this particular team. We got Arroyo in here already, which is in Seattle. Along with Mr. Travis Hunter. Trevor Lawrence, along with Arroyo. And Travis Hunter's already there. So we got Jonnu Smith already locked in at that spot. And we will go with Travis Hunter. Arroyo. And Hunter. Arroyo. And Hunter. We got Theo Johnson already in this one. We'll go with Travis Hunter in the flex. Cam Ward already here, so let's go. Probably Cam Ward. So we'll go with Arroyo and Hunter. Flacco, Arroyo. The idea is also fight every temptation to want to change anything. The only reason we change any of these is due to injury. We will monitor these fucking things all the way up to like noon on fucking September 4th. And finally, Arroyo. Remember, you got to beat 832,000 fucking players. You can't just pick all the typical guys you think. You got to think crazy. You got to think outside the box. Little sleeper action. All right. So the other locks I want to put in, I want to put Ridley in at wide receiver with Shaheed behind him. But in terms of running back, I want Chase Brown. These already got locked in. So let's get our other two receivers in here. So let's get Rashid Shaheed and let's get Cal Ridley. We got 11 grand left over. We got plenty of money. So let's go get fucking Jamar Chase right at the bet. Lock him in with Joe Burrow. And we can upgrade from Taj Brooks to Jahmyr Gibbs. Look at that shit. Burrow, Brown, Gibbs, Shaheed, Ridley, Chase, Arroyo, Hunter, Rams D. Fuck yeah. $1 million line. Right. RBs. Let's go with our man Chase Brown. Let's head over to wide receiver real quick and see what we get left over here after we take Shaheed and Ridley. We got 11 grand. We got a shit ton of money left over. So we can take Gibbs in the other spot with 3,800 left over. So we can come out of Travis Hunter and get fucking Jamar Chase. Which again, against Cleveland, fuck yeah. Leave $700 left over. And I'm fine with that. That is a fucking lineup, ladies and gentlemen, right there. Mayfield, Brown, Gibbs, Igbuka, Ridley, Shaheed, Arroyo, Chase, Rams D. Hell's fucking yeah. All right, plenty of money to play with around here. Let's go get Ridley. Leaving us 69. So we can go up from Shaheed. You got Brian Thomas right there with Carolina alongside Travis Hunter. It's pretty bold to go two. You also got Tyreek Hill there. See, what you could do is you could move Travis Hunter in to receiver, right? Let's say we move Travis Hunter into receiver here with Detroit. With 69, now we get to pick from some running backs in the flex, such as Chase Brown. Bang. Chase fucking Brown. I want bulls at the position, ladies and gentlemen. Bulls at the position. Goff, Gibbs, Montgomery, Hunter, Ridley, Brown, Arroyo, Brown again. Rams D. Fuck yeah. $1 million line. We got a lot of money to play with here. We got room to play. So right off the bat, Jahmyr Gibbs. Puka Nacua. Oof. Now again, let's move Travis Hunter in to receiver. Or Ridley. I want Ridley. Fuck Travis Hunter. I want Ridley in there. Which gives me 71 to go and get. Ooh, Bucky Irving, Amon-Ra St. Brown. A lot of choices here. A lot of choices here. We can take the rookie, Ashton Gianti, against the fucking New England right there. Ooh, that's tempting. Gibbs and Gianti. Oh, hell yeah. Let's take the rook. We're going to take the rook there. We're going rook. I like it. Murray, Benson, Gibbs, Harrison, Nakua, Ridley, Arroyo, Gianti, Rams. Fuck yeah. We want some Puka Nakua action. We got a lot to play with here. A lot to play with. Right off the bat, let's grab Chase Brown. Let's get these boys their receivers. Mr. Ridley. Mr. Shaheed. And we got money to play with, so we're gonna get Puka Nakua in there. With 8, with lots of money left over. See, they're putting Bijan up top is the best, but I still like Gibbs. Gibbs is still my favorite. Got a lot of money left over here. So if you want to, we can upgrade from Hunter, but is it worth it? What do we got here to pick from in terms of the flex? Connor, Adams, Hubbard. No, I still like Hubbard the best here. I mean, Hunter. We're sticking with Travis Hunter. Yeah. Staying with Hunter. Although, again, you could go upgrade from Chase Brown. Is there a better running back option? You get McCaffrey right there, but fuck. Ooh. Chase Brown against Cleveland. Leave the 1100 on the table. Leaving money on the table, especially in a classic round, is automatically contrarian. Nix, Brown, Gibbs, Nakua, Ridley, Shaheed, Arroyo, Hunter, Rams. Fuck yeah. All right, all right, all right. All right, here we go. Running back. Let's grab Chase Brown. Or again, we go right to Gibbs. Because we're going low end at wide receiver. We're going Ridley, who we're a big favorite of. With a lot left to play with at receiver to get. Nakua, fuck yes. Well, feeling that shit. Look at that. Pert, Gibbs, McCaffrey, Jennings, Nakua, Ridley, Arroyo, Hunter, Rams. Fuck yeah. Let's do this shit. We got Jacobs up in there. I like Gibbs over fucking Brown. I'm sorry. That's just the way I'm feeling right now. Ridley. Can we get Shaheed and then Puka Nakua? Let's see. Oh, we just missed on Nakua. I think we just missed Nakua. Fuck your mother. Unless we come down from Jacob. We go from Jacobs to Brown, we get Nakua. Yep. Get Nakua. Pull Jacobs. That's the Detroit defense. Detroit could be looking to fucking make an example out of the fucking Packers. Fuck it. Fuck it. Look at that shit. Love Brent Gibbs, Nakua, Ridley, Shaheed, Kraft, Hunter, Rams. Let's do the receiving core first. Actually, no. Do the running backs first. Chase Brown. Jahmyr Gibbs. Now let's get the receiving thing going here. Always first Ridley and Shaheed, then see if we can get Nakua, which we can. We got plenty of cash. Grab Nakua. And we can upgrade from Travis Hunter to what? Whoosh. To also get McCaffrey. McCaffrey is tempting, but he's such a fucking letdown. Because you have the Titans. Why do we have the Titans D in there? Oh, because we can't take the Rams. Well, Stroud, you know what? Give him his number one fucking target right there. Give him Collins. Fuck it. Give him his number one. Give him his number one. For that lineup, give him his number one. Especially because we can't take the Rams D. Yeah, that one worse. If it lines up the way that lines up, Stroud, Brown, Gibbs, Nakua, Ridley, Shaheed, Arroyo, Collins, and the Titans D. Fuck yeah. All right. Here we got to save a little bit. Let's grab Chase Brown. Nakua's already in there. Let's grab Ridley. With 68 left over for. Ooh, I like Brian Thomas, man. Garrett Wilson. No, but that's Pittsburgh, and we don't know who the quarterback's going to be. We're going to move Travis Hunter in to the receiver position. So we can get 68 in the flex for Jonathan Taylor. Ooh. Josh Jacobs. But against Detroit, no way. But Jonathan Taylor versus the Dolphins. Brock fucking Bowers or Brees Hall. Stafford. Nakua's already there. Ferguson. What if we come out of Ferguson? Let's come out of Ferguson. Fuck Ferguson. Fuck Ferguson. Let's get Arroyo in there. He signed his contract. Supposed to be excited. 73. What do we got? A lot more to pick from at 7,300. Could that be a Christian McCaffrey moment right there? It could fucking very well be. Christian McCaffrey. You got to rely on him sometime. That could be the fucking game to rely on. Stafford, Brown, Williams, Hunter, Bakua, Ridley, Arroyo, McCaffrey, and the Rams. Fuck yeah. RBs. We got plenty of money to spend on fucking RBs here. Right off the bat. Let's grab Gibbs and Brown. 86 left on receiver. We're going right to Jamar fucking Chase. Don't even need to look. Bang it up. That in the books. Tua. All right. Once again, we got money to spend here. Gibbs. Brown. Nakua. With enough left over for Cal fucking Ridley. And I'm going to leave 1,100 on the fucking tape. Leave it on the tape. Look at that. Young, Brown, Gibbs, McMillan, Nakua, Ridley, Arroyo, Hunter, Rams, baby. So now you got Bijan Robinson in there. It's okay. We can have a little fun here. We can move it around here. We go Chase Brown. Then we grab Ridley. Shaheed. Where's Shaheed? Plenty left over. You got 75 left over there for. Should grab Drake. Yeah, Drake fucking London right there. With a G left over. Full $1,000 left over. We're leaving it on the table. I want to try and be as fucking crazy contrarian as possible. Oh, plenty of money to spend in the running back room. Gibbs, Brown. Again, we go Ridley. Definitely have enough, yes. Oh, we'll have plenty left over for Jamar fucking Chase. Or Nakua. Sky's the limit, but a guy like Chase, he's going to fucking go off. Hell yeah. All that room and running. This particular lineup makes me nervous. Get Nakua. Go get, let's go get Ridley. You definitely upgrade from Travis Hunter. If we got to, let's come out of Mason Taylor. Since we don't know who's playing fucking quarterback there yet. We're going to go right to Arroyo. We'll pull Travis Hunter for Chase Brown. Bang! Much as I love Travis Hunter, I feel like Chase Brown leads more points. Potentially, at least. Oh, money left over here. We got the running backs already established here, so let's grab Nakua. Let's grab Chase. And with 71 left over. Oof. Let's move Travis Hunter into here. Or Ridley. And we'll upgrade to Chase Brown. So I get another piece of running back in here. I get 3 bold running backs. I keep the Seattle duo there. I like that. Darnold, Carbonet, Walker, Chase, Nakua, Ridley, Arroyo, Brown, the Rams. All right. We got Travis Lawrence already in here. Trevor Lawrence already in there. So we go Chase Brown. Oh, no, not in the flex. RB. Gibbs and Brown. Receiver, let's get Ridley. And we'll grab Puka. With 67 left over, even flex for. Shush! This is where we'll use Kyron against the Texans. Shush! See, Brian Thomas Jr. What if we double receiver this one? You pull Ridley in this one. Check it out. You pull Ridley. Pull Ridley here for Brian Thomas Jr. So we go double receiver in this game against Carolina. In the flex, we take Shaheed. I like it. Yes. Yeah, I like that. That works. Risky, but it may work. $5 chasing $1 million, we'll do it. Lawrence, Brown, Gibbs, Hunter, Nakua, Thomas, Arroyo, Shaheed, and the Rams. All right. Oh, we got plenty of money to spend right here. Gibbs, Chase, Nakua. Bang, done. That's if and only if fucking Roman Wilson comes through. That's a good lineup. Oh shit, lots of money to spend here. Gibbs. You go Bijan and Jamar Chase here. With 1,200 left over. We'll keep it. We don't want Thornton in there. Hunter, it's all good there. Leave that 1,200 in there. Perfect. It's as contrarian as it gets, baby. This is Daniel Jones. So again, let's grab Gibbs. Nakua. So again, we'll pull Travis Hunter here. Or we can move Travis Hunter. So here we're going to grab Ridley. And at 68 in the flex, we're going Chase Brown. Boom. Again, we got to watch that because regardless whether it's Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson, they're both the same price. It's all about who's getting that starting nod. Russell fucking Wilson. Gibbs. Brown. Ridley. With 73 left. I want Puka Nakua. So fuck Theo Johnson. We're going right to El Arroyo. Boosh! Fucking Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson will be 1% owned. That's the only thing that could be working out in your favor there. Cam Ward. Oh, we got to have some fun here. If Cam goes off, oh, we get Gibbs in there, again Brown. Ridley's already in there, so let's get Puka in there. With 7 large left over. Again. Let's move Travis Hunter in. giving us 7 in the flex 4. Oh, yeah, I want that rookie Gianti. Fuck yes. Top rookie running back and the top rookie quarterback right in the same fucking line. Jolton Joe Flacco. Gibbs. Yeah, go with the handcuff next to you with the on the bring back. You do the bring back with Chase against Flacco. That works, and you get Puka in there. And finally, Gibbs, Chase Brown, Nakua. We're gonna move Travis Hunter in at receiver. Actually, I'm gonna go Ridley here. I'm gonna pull Travis Hunter in favor of flex McCaffrey, Collins, Gianti. Gianti gets New England. New England's got a new fucking coach here. Gianti. Done. Ladies and gentlemen, 24 on 3 fucking hours, but it's done and it's wonderful. I love fantasy fucking football. May fate and faith decide your fortune if you should win. Blow your money right here on the new Pharaoh's Lounge Kickstarter. Peace, love, and war, and all that shit in between.